EGM Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to Wherever with Lu Navarro. I'm your host, Lu Navarro, a local Latin realtor here in the Vero Beach area, our beautiful paradise, with Max Crown Realty. And, please make sure to follow me on my social media. You can find me as Lu Navarro, the realtor. I am. I dedicate my life to help people find their right home. And, in this beautiful area, we have to make sure that our investments are protected. And that's why today we are going to be talking with Schlitt Insurance about protecting your investment. But before we jump in, quiero recordarles a las mujeres latinas en el condado de Indian River County que el próximo miércoles 12 de noviembre vamos a tener nuestro encuentro mensual. Este mes será acerca de la gratitud, así que si tú piensas que quieres conectarte, crecer e inspirarte con nosotras, hay un lugar aquí para ti. Contáctame y te doy todos los detalles. El próximo miércoles 12 de noviembre en el Vero Wine Bar, Mujeres Latinas Vero Beach, de 5:30 a 7:30 p.m. Así que bueno, ahora sí vamos a... I'm sorry, turning back to English. I'm sorry. Now we're going back to our guest, David Castro. David Castro is with Schlitt Insurance Services here in Vero Beach. Thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank you so much for having me today.
All right. So, again, I was talking about, when you buy your home, you need to protect your house. So
Absolutely.
That's why you are here. But before we get into that, I always like to introduce my guests. I like people to get to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and how you got into insurance.
Okay, my name is David Castro. I'm a personal lines agent here in Vero Beach, Florida, working for Schlitt Insurance Services, who are here locally. I've been doing this since 2018. I've worked for Allstate and State Farm in the past, and just recently found my calling by going independent. And it's been wonderful. Outside of work, I'm involved in the local social clubs. I run. I spend my weekends doing 5Ks.
Awesome.
And I also review foods on the side for Yelp.
Oh, interesting. See? No, that's nice. Amazing. Now, let's talk about Schlitt Insurance. I read that they have been serving here in Vero Beach since 1953. That's 70 years or more supporting this community.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind Schlitt Insurance, and how did it become such a trusted local agency here?
Well, they were founded originally in the 1950s as the Ed Schlitt Agency, and it was a real estate and insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, they decided to break the companies together.
Okay.
So they went with the insurance aspect, and they've always been involved with the community. The Schlitts, the family name has been around since the 1919s, so I believe they're, if you know a Schlitt, it's a big history.
I heard that it's German.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I love that story. And like you said, they have a history here. They are like a big piece of oak tree here, right?
Yeah.
So why did you specifically join Schlitt, and why insurance, and why Vero Beach?
Well, I moved up here in Vero Beach in November of 2023. I had a life change opportunities and things weren't working down in my favor down south. So my parents who retired here, I figured, I could stay here a while,
Mm-hmm.
reinvent myself.
Okay.
I was doing insurance at the time back in South Florida, and I was working for State Farm, and I relocated here.
Okay.
But at the same time, it wasn't my calling. So I left in November of last year, and then I joined an independent firm down in Port St. Lucie. Along the line, I also realized that my goals were not aligned with their goals. So um, I knew that the Schlitts were here in the area, and I've seen their building, and I know that there's got to be a Schlitt Insurance Agency if there's painters, electronics, everything with the Schlitt. And one of the runners that I run with on one of these run clubs on Thursdays is a family member of the Schlitts. So I gave him my resume. He sends the resume over to the owners, Bob and Jeff, who are wonderful bosses. And they called me the next day.
Awesome. Awesome. So you mentioned something, and I feel like is something special about Schlitt is that you are an independent agency, meaning that you work for the client, not for the insurance company, correct?
Correct.
So can you explain to the why that matters, especially for the homeowners?
Yeah, because we have options. And in Florida, options are everything. We're not just tied into one company. We work with several, I believe, over 20 companies in the state of Florida. And we basically build a policy to our customers' need, not just here's a basic policy and give me the money. It's questions that I ask my clients, and I build our policy based on their answers.
Okay.
And I have options A, B, C, and D to present to the client and be like, these are my options based on what you told me that these are the features of your house, and this is what I can offer to you.
Right. It's totally based on their needs and requirements.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into what really matters. The goal of this episode today is homeowners and flood insurance in real estate, right? And as a realtor, I always tell my buyers, you are just not buying a home. You are protecting your biggest investment. So let's break it down. What exactly homeowners insurance cover?
Okay, so the homeowner's insurance covers is your main dwelling. That is your roofs, your structure, your walls, the floorings, and basically anything that's attached to the main dwelling. That's part of your coverage aid, the dwelling portion. Along the lines, there's other structures, which is your detached garage, gazebos, fences. In general, other structures means anything that's found in your property lot that's not physically attached to the main dwelling. Also, a homeowner's insurance policy covers personal property, which is all your belongings, such as the furniture that we see here. Anything that you can take with you is covered under personal property. And then underneath those is additional living expenses, personal liability, and medical. Additional living expenses is a coverage that kicks in the event that your home becomes uninhabitable due to a covered loss. So let's say a fire burns your house down and you need a place to live. We can pay for you to stay at a hotel while the home is getting rebuilt.
Okay.
And then personal liability is a coverage that protects you in case someone wants to get injured in your property and they wanted to pursue legal action.
Which is so common nowadays.
Yes, it's so common. And then lastly, medical payments is provided, and it's the same thing as personal liability, but it's for like smaller claims and to pay the medical expenses if somebody was to get injured on your property.
Okay.
And those are the main components. And obviously there's a lot more, but the ones that I mentioned are the major ones.
All right. And from the real estate perspective, like, in the transaction, many buyers wait until the very end of the transaction to look for insurance and then panic. What is important to look for insurance early in the homeowner's process?
Because it gives me, the agent, the time and opportunity to build a policy. Obviously, I have a lot of clients that say, I'm thinking of buying a house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thinking, and then I get an address, and then I'm able to build a preliminary quote based on that address.
Mm-hmm.
But what really helps me help the client is I need inspection reports, such as the windstorm mitigation and the 4-point.
Mm-hmm.
Because the earlier I get those reports, the more accurate I'm able to get a quote out there. If I don't have those reports, then I can just be like, here's a quote. However, it may change at the time of binding, because either we discovered too late that you don't have a roof that was replaced within the last decade or so,
Mm-hmm.
or even the smallest things, you have corroded pipes in your house.
Yeah.
And if I find corroded pipes or problems, then I have to go back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm. Especially here in Florida, where like right now we're during hurricane season,
Yes.
right? Waiting can delay for you to even get to closing, right? If you don't have the insurance. Now, flood insurance, okay? And I
that's a
think
big
that
one.
this is a monster because many homeowners assume that the homeowner's policy cover for flood. That's not right, correct?
That is correct. Flood insurance is not covered under your standard homeowners. Some companies do offer that as a rider, but the majority do not. So we do offer flood insurance as a separate policy to go along with our first-time buyers. So I always offer it regardless of where you're at in a flood zone.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, Florida is 75% peninsula.
Exactly.
There's water all around us, so it's better to have it and not use it than to not have it and panic.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are in the Treasure Coast, Sebastian, Vero Beach. It is the flood. I'm sorry, it's a real factor, correct?
Yeah.
And then you touch on something very important. Even if you don't need it based on FEMA map, you should have it. Or if you are doing a cash transaction, you feel like it should be purchased for your own peace of mind, right?
Yeah, the flood maps are always changing. So I've had those clients be like, I didn't need it last year. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, the flood maps got changed this year,
Yes.
and you definitely do need it.
And it's funny because from a realtor's perspective, sometimes I get people from out of state and they say, well, I don't want to live in a flood zone. And I say, well, then don't move to Florida. And I don't say that, but that's the reality.
Right.
We're in Florida. There is nothing that we can do about it. Today, it can be a non-flood, and tomorrow it can be a different zone. And that's something that I feel like we should touch base on, the difference between somebody that is moving from New York, New Jersey, California. The floor here is a different monster. So, can you touch base on that and the difference between one state and another?
Yeah. The Florida insurance market is a monster on its own. It's one of the most complex in the country. Primarily the reasons why we have higher rates compared to the other 49 states is because we're dealing with hurricanes, litigations, and fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Fraud is
Insurance.
the major one.
Yeah.
So that is what's bringing premiums up. And I do get those clients from up north coming here and be like, oh, my policy is only $800 for my house, and it's a bigger square footage. And I'm like, well, welcome to Florida.
Yeah, right.
You're dealing with hurricanes, litigations, and all of that is being attributed on your policy premium. Hence why we have such higher rates than the rest of the country.
Well, so for those who wants to know when you should be looking for insurance, from the real estate perspective, as soon as you start looking for a home, you need to know if your house is in a flood zone. So with that note, let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of nonstop laughs.
Create your restful retreat and save 50% now on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture during the Home for the Holidays event at Sunshine Furniture. Sophisticated looks with a mix of coastal and Caribbean styles, Tommy Bahama offers everything you need for your personal paradise and is all half price. At Sunshine Furniture, we have the largest selection of in-stock coastal and casual sofas, love seats, chairs, slipcover sofas, bedroom dining, and occasional furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Best Chair, Hooker, and Riverside. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have any style of patio furniture that you need, including a gallery of Made in America, Berlin Garden, Pollywood, Woodard, Lloyd Flanders, and Telescope. We specialize in replacement cushions, umbrellas, and fire pits. Come in now for our Home for the Holidays event and winter sale. Don't forget to visit our outlet and sales center directly across the street, Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Vero Beach is out and alive.
Music's playing, people are dancing.
The dance floor is packed.
It's the Sunset Saturday Concert
Fun and free for all on Ocean Drive.
with live music by Stacy Soul, food, wine, and beer presented by GHO Homes, the Vero Beach Chamber of Commerce, Millennium Cremation Service, and Mangrove Sands Golf Club and Restaurant.
The Sunset Saturday Concert.
Saturday, November 15th at 5 p.m. at Hummerston Park on Ocean Drive, Vero Beach.
Now that's the life.
And we're back here at Wherever We Look Navarro with my guest, David Castro from Schlitt Insurance Services. And we're touching about protecting your biggest investment, your home. And so, but now let's talk about a little bit more about the community involvement of Schlitt. And we were just talking on the break about this small town feeling that we have here, but that there is a community that is united and that there is a lot of local events. And so how your company invests in this little community where, it's so much growth, but still you have that sense of a small community or a small town.
Yeah, absolutely. Schlitt Insurance Services is always giving back. I believe every quarter we set aside some donations to a local charity. I believe this quarter we are partnering up with Indian River County Volunteer Ambulance
Nice.
Group. And for every referral that we get, regardless if the prospect buys insurance from us or not, we donate to that charity. And today as well, we are hosting the 33rd annual Soup Bowl at the office. So again, those proceeds go to an organization
That's
as well.
awesome. That's very nice.
Yeah, they always love giving back.
Yeah. A little point that I forgot to touch before is people don't understand that in the process of buying a home and getting a loan, the homeowners insurance policy is a key point because it really will affect their payment, the monthly payment.
Yeah. Right.
And so can you tell me about how your experience working with lenders from the insurance perspective?
Yeah, my experience has been positive. I mean, there are some lenders that require a lot and have to step in and say, I cannot proceed with your requests because some lenders are asking for me to insure what the value of the house is on real estate. Mm-hmm. So let's say the buyer is buying a home for $1 million and the lender tells them you have to get a policy for $1 million. And I look at the policy, the property, and I come up with the value of the home being $700,000, and that's where I have to tell the homeowner and the lender that the reason why it's $700,000 is because I'm not including the value of the property in terms of where it sits, the view. All I care is ensuring the brick and mortar, the grass and the view is not something that I can attribute to the price. So hence why my premiums are or my value of the house is not that $1 million.
Understood. So now let's switch a little bit. It's gonna be a little fun that we. This is a segment that I always have with my guests, just to know more about you guys. It's a rapid fire question. I'm gonna ask you about 4 or 5 questions and just answer whatever comes to your mind.
Oh boy.
So, what would you prefer, a beach day or a boat day?
Beach day.
Beach. What about coffee, black coffee or café con leche?
Café con leche.
Oh, see?
Latino.
That's a plus for us always. What's your favorite activity here on the weekends in Vero Beach?
My favorite activity has been clocking in miles. I am training for the Space Coast Half Marathon later this month. So as of now, my weekends consist of running.
How far? How many miles do you run every day?
Normally, I run 3 miles 3 times a week during the weekdays, but now I got to start putting in more. So this weekend, I'm going to try to do 8 and then increase it until the faithful day comes and I'm able to do those 13.
All right. One thing about you that people will say, for real, David, you do that or you like that? What would you say?
That I Yelp on the side.
Oh.
So I'm part of the prestigious Yelp elites. We get invited to restaurants and we get to eat for free, but at the same time,
cool.
I have to take photos of the food and then review it.
Oh my gosh, that's nice. That's very nice.
Very nice trade.
And if you weren't in insurance, what career would you be doing?
I'd probably be doing animation. That's what I studied when I was in the University of Central Florida.
Jesse, you may have somebody here part-time. All right, well, let's, some key takeaway for the first-time home buyers. Research insurance.
Yes.
As soon as you make an offer, I would say a little bit before that. Check flood risk. Compared to multiple careers. So, you can call David and David can help you with that, especially if it's an independent agency. If you renovate or upgrade your home, make sure that you update your homeowners. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No.
All right. Perfect. So, in that note, if anyone needs your services, how they can reach out?
They can reach out via telephone at 772-567-1188, extension 120. My email is david@schlittservices.com.
All right, there you have it. There is the website. Easy to find him as one of the agents. And I do thank you for joining us again, and thank you for the work you and Schlitt Insurance do to help protect the biggest investment that anybody has, which is a home, or for the majority. And remember about flood insurance, very important. All right, so to all of you, thank you again for tuning in and listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find me on the my social media as Navarro Realtor. I always share content, new information, new home listings, or homes that are not yet on the market, but that may be ready to go. So, like I said, buying a home is not just about closing. It's about protecting your investment, your home, your family. And it's not just a transaction. It's a life change. Don't forget, Mujeres Latinas Vero Beach, el próximo miércoles 12 de noviembre, de 5:30 a 7:30 en el Vero Wine Bar. Las esperamos, de verdad, es una vibra increíble y es muy lindo ver a todas estas mujeres latinas unidas y tratando de tener un propósito en esta comunidad. As always, if you're looking to buy or sell a home here in the Treasure Coast and you want somebody who understands the community, I will guide you from first step to closing. I will be here for you. Until next time, Thank you so much for listening. I'm Lou Navarro, your realtor. And recuerda, yo hablo tu idioma. Chao, chao.